Thank you for tuning in to NSUSpartans.com, fueled by Gatorade. Matt Mahalik coming to you today from the Norfolk State University football offices in Gill Gymnasium. It's been a hub of activity here today, National Signing Day, where the majority of the football recruits across the nation make their college choices. And we're happy to be joined by NSU football coach Latrell Scott to talk a little bit about the Spartans' recruiting efforts this year. Coach, obviously been on the job not quite 2 months, so it's been a whirlwind for you. Explain a little bit about how the recruiting class this year took shape, what with you transitioning and obviously at the same time trying to find that next wave of Spartans.
Well, it's been a lot of work. You have to credit Mike Farragelli and Jerry Holmes, our two coordinators, for helping me hit the ground running and get the things that we needed to get done to put together what we think is an excellent recruiting class.
Well, Coach, obviously you got off to a quick early start with the 4 mid-year enrollees. Guys, are you really excited about? Tell us a little bit about that quartet of guys, Gerard Johnson, as well as your 3 linemen from Fork Union who came in early.
Well, really good group of experienced guys. Obviously, Gerard was a player over at Old Dominion, and when he called and talked about his interest, we were thrilled to have him. He's a young man that I know from the Richmond area. Great kid, comes from a great program, great family, so we're thrilled to have him. The 3 guys from Fork Union are 3 big, athletic, physical offensive and defensive linemen. We recruited Craig Rodwell in high school prior to him going to Fork Union, and the other 2 guys I think will give us great depth and athleticism on the defensive line.
Of course, that being Walter Brantley and Cornelius Tyler, really adding depth to your line there. And obviously heavy on the state of Virginia with recruiting 12 guys that we announced today between your early signees and the ones who signed actually on signing day. 11 of those come from the state, and the 12th actually from Fork Union as well, so he's familiar with the area. Talk a little bit about your success recruiting this year in the state.
Well, we talked when we got here. When I talked to President Moore and Coach Miller, we talked about having a footprint that was local, then regional, and then national. And we're a state school, and it makes total sense for us to recruit from the state of Virginia because people are going to come and see kids that they know play, and for us to recruit kids from the 757, kids from 804, Fork Union kids, it just makes sense for us to do that.
If we look at the 8 guys who actually signed today, a number of talented players on both offense and defense. You obviously talked about Gerard Johnson adding a boost to your running game. You also have a couple other skill position guys who you think might be capable of doing big things for you with Quintrell Chung as well as Marcus Taylor.
Well, those 2 guys are really good high school football players. Marcus Taylor is one of the fastest players in the state, and you have to have some speed, and it is a really good football player. Sometimes you have guys that are fast and they're not that good when it comes to actually playing football, but Marcus is a complete player. Quintrell's a really good athlete, played some tailback, played some quarterback in high school. He's 6 foot, he's 210 pounds, and we look forward to him to do some exciting things. But along with the rest of the group, I'm really excited about a bunch of guys. I don't have time to talk about them all, but I'm really pleased with this group of guys.
Obviously, you got an early start on beefing up your offensive and defensive lines, and you came back with a couple of more solid additions today. Wes Jones, your Fork Union Military Academy lineman who signed today to join a couple of his ex-teammates here, as well as Jake O'Sullivan. And on the defensive side of things, Jeff Lee also adding some depth to your defense.
Well, you win and lose games up front. Skilled guys are kind of a dime a dozen, but when you can go out and you can improve your offensive and defensive line, I really do believe it gives you a chance to be competitive in football games.
Obviously, we talked some about the speed in this class with guys like Marcus Taylor, but it seems like versatility is a trademark of some of these players as well. They were stars on both sides of the ball in high school. That could definitely be said about Nigel Chavis as well as DJ Cook as well, both versatile athletes.
Well, that's something that we look for, a guy that can do more than one job because, you're very limited in scholarship number and roster number. So if you could, if somebody gets banged up on one side of the ball and they have some experience on the other, it makes it. And we love kids that play basketball, that play baseball, that do everything because that just lets you know that they're genuine athletes. I looked at Nigel's stuff today. I think Nigel had 60 tackles, 13 tackles for loss, and he ran for 900 yards. So it says a lot about his versatility. A lot of people think DJ Cook's a better wide receiver than he is corner, so that's a good problem for us to have.
Well, the recruiting class stands at 12 as of today. Obviously, recruiting never stops for you. If you were able to add somewhere here and there along the line in the spring, what are some areas where maybe you might address down the road?
Well, obviously, we still may take another quarterback if we can get a guy who we feel like fits our scheme, fits our system. Obviously, if anybody's going to drop another defensive lineman in our lap, we take one of those in a heartbeat. But we're just looking for quality guys, quality students that fit our profile.
Well, Coach, congratulations on what's so far been a very successful recruiting class. I know it never stops for you, but hopefully get a chance to take a step back and look at a job well done so far as of tonight anyway.
Well, we'll take tonight off and we'll be back tomorrow because now we get the opportunity to spend time with our guys that are here, and that's very important for me to make sure that the kids that are on this campus right now know that they're our priority and that we care about them. So now we can take the rest of the off season leading into spring practice and spend time with the guys that we have on campus.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, we thank you for joining us today. Again, congratulations on the start so far, and thanks for joining us on NSUSpartans.com.
Thank you.
Once again, that's Latrell Scott joining us here today on NSUSpartans.com, fueled by Gatorade. Make sure to visit our website, NSUSpartans.com, for all your information throughout the year on Norfolk State University football.